Hey guys, welcome to a new movie review. Today I'm going to be telling you about my thoughts on the film Can't Hardly Wait. This is the 10-year reunion version that I borrowed from someone. But yeah, this is a film that has quite a bit of people who were in their early years of acting when they all starred in this. You know, we have Jennifer Love Hewitt, Seth Green, Ethan Embry, very young Jason Segel, a very young Jerry O'Connell. We had a ton of actors and actresses who were very much in their early stages of their acting careers when they were in this movie. And this film, I want to say, happened around roughly around the time the first American Pie film happened. So it was definitely in that era where, high school party movies and college party movies were very much a new, popular kind of subject matter to take on in a movie. And Can't Hardly Wait kind of came out right around that same time as those other films did. So in this movie, it's kind of more so about, I would say, the main focus of the film, because there is quite a few subplots in the movie. But the main focus of the film is about a guy who heard about a breakup that happened between a popular girl and a popular guy right around the time their high school graduation happened. And he kind of views this as his opportunity to date this girl. He tried to date her freshman year when she was new to the school district, and he never really got a chance to because this other guy got the opportunity before he did to go on a date with her. So, everybody's graduated, everybody's moving on with their lives and about to go off to colleges and enjoy their summers, all that good stuff. But this guy really wants to date this girl. He kind of felt cheated out of, him never getting a chance to date her. And so now he views this party right after graduation as a chance to land a date with her. And then while that's going down, there's obviously several other characters in the film. They have their kind of their own goals in mind throughout the course of the movie. There's a guy played by Seth Green who is trying to hook up with a girl, since his high school social image is kind of gone now, and he's kind of becoming his own person. And so we follow his journey throughout the movie of him trying to do this. Because of the breakup that happened between Jennifer Love Hewitt and the popular guy, it's about him either trying to get back with her or him trying to figure out what he's gonna move on to next. So there's all these kind of small little adventures, mostly dealing with the breakup between this popular guy and popular girl and kind of how that affected everybody else. And so more than anything, the film would obviously appropriately follow the guy who really wants to date her the most and has the biggest connection with her. So overall, guys, I really enjoyed Can't Hardly Wait. I can't say I absolutely loved it. I don't think it's quite American Pie quality, but I thought it was very good. And when I get to my positives and negatives here, you can definitely see why I really liked a lot of parts of it and why some parts probably could have used a little improvement and how they could have gotten to the same league as, let's say, American Pie, the original movie. So, for my positives and negatives of Can't Hardly Wait, I like how the film takes place almost entirely at a party. It gives it an in the moment kind of quality to it. For those who've seen the film Block, it kind of like that film took place in a car almost the entire movie. I thought it was kind of neat how this film took place at a party almost the entire movie. And like I said, it really gives it an in the moment quality. It really makes the filmmakers think on their feet more as far as, okay, well, how can we make this story point or how can we make characters develop all within this party within a 2 hour time frame. And I really liked how the filmmakers really approached this as the film progressed. Another big positive I had is I thought it was neat how there was special small guest appearances throughout the movie, like Jerry O'Connell, like Jason Segel, like Selma Blair. All of them have little guest appearances in a really clever way in the movie, whether you are supposed to notice them as celebrities or not. Another person I noticed in the movie, I apologize, I don't know her by name, but one thing she was very well known for was playing Sabrina the Teenage Witch on TV. That actress has a appearance in the movie as well, and she actually appears quite frequently throughout the movie as this girl who wants every popular person from her school to sign her yearbook. She's one of those kind of people. Really kind of clever how they thought they worked her in. It was very appropriate for the time that they filmed the movie at too, because I believe that show was pretty popular in the '90s and even the late '90s, probably when this movie came out as well. I liked the fate of certain characters. I like how the film really plays off fate, how we're really not supposed to guess what it is. There's some lives where it's kind of predictable where those lives are going to go. And I like how there's lives where, they're really big and popular in one moment and then the next they're not very big people anymore. So the film really plays off of that and how fate kind of really isn't predictable sometimes. How it really just kind of will knock you for a curve, and then it'll put you in the spotlight again. It's one of those kind of weird situations, and I like how the film really plays off that a lot. The film also has a pretty accurate pre-college portion of life depiction as well. It really makes the point that when you're in this in-between phase where where you just graduated high school and about to move on to college, because I personally experienced this too. You're kind of in this state where you're trying to figure out, okay, I want to leave this behind me. I want to continue having this. I want to continue being around these people and continue to have this part in my life. I really like how the film really plays off that, and it really shows that a lot of people really kind of do think about that kind of stuff when they're done with high school, and when they're moving on to college or a full-time job. Well, all that stuff sticks with them, and a lot of that stuff they kind of want to keep in the past, and so the film really plays off that quite a bit. And for the most part, we really do care about these characters. We really do care about Ethan Embry's focus in the movie. We really care about Jennifer Love Hewitt's character focus in the movie. We really care about them getting what they want and what they have to do to get there, and who they have to ignore, who they have to become enemies with, or who they have to become friends with to kind of get with what they want after high school was done with. I really like how the film really makes us care about these characters. For my negatives of Can't Hardly Wait, because like I did say at the beginning of the review, it's not quite American Pie quality, but there is a lot of good things going for it. One big negative I thought that this film did probably worse than American Pie did. I thought there was some pretty bad teen stereotyping in the movie. Like it really just like, oh well, the nerds have to like Star Trek and they have to like this and they always have to act like this and they have to always act like this at a party. Well, I really don't think the film had to do that. I really think they could have made the point that these were the nerds or these were the jocks or these were the popular girls without going the stereotype route. There's a lot of times in the movie where they stereotype pretty badly, and it kind of prevents them from creating really good material. So I really wish the film could have found a way to not go the stereotyping route at times. There are also some pretty flat jokes throughout the movie. It's not a film to go to if you're really expecting laugh out loud, raunchy jokes. I don't think Can't Hardly Wait really did that part too well. There is obviously parts at times where they're trying to do that, but unfortunately, like American Pie, it really doesn't get that far, and it doesn't really do it as well as you might think it would. Sometimes the interesting material or the interesting directions with certain characters kind of take a while to get to. I really noticed this with Seth Green's characters. I thought the more interesting side of his story didn't happen until pretty far into the movie, and that he's it's not just his character. I think they did that with some other characters in this as well. And like I said, because there is some really interesting directions they take these characters in, I really almost could have wished they could have taken that faster, because there's a lot of small things happening in this party throughout the movie that really don't relate to the plot that much. And maybe perhaps in a director's cut they could have kept it, but I think they could have sped up the pace maybe a little bit and made its point a little bit more faster than what they ended up going with. And I also thought that some fates really weren't explored in the movie. Kind of like for those who've seen American Graffiti, where they tell you what they did later in their lives, what they did as a career, were they successful or did they fail with what they were going for? They start doing that at the end of the movie, and I think that's a very good direction to go in. But unfortunately, they don't do it with all the other main characters. They only do it with a few of them. So we really never get to know about or hear about or read in a text what happened to some of these characters in the movie later in life, because we do get to hear about it for some of them, but not all of them. And I really think that they could have done something with that. And then going back to this comment again, I really don't think it's the next American Pie. I can kind of see why this film isn't on the same level as that movie. But like I said, there's a lot of good things going for the movie. So for those who do like American Pie or films where it's about people transitioning from high school to college, I think you're going to like a lot of things about this movie. I think it does, like I said, it really depicts that pre-college portion of life pretty well. But like I said, don't go into it knowing that it's going to be the next American Pie or anything, because I really don't think it's quite on the same level as that. But overall, I am going to give Can't Hardly Wait an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really good movie. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I definitely could recommend it, I think, just because there is a lot of good things about it. We do get to see a good A really good performance from a young Jennifer Love Hewitt and Seth Green and Ethan Embry, Jerry O'Connell, Jason Segel, Selma Blair. We get to see a lot of young talents in this all come together for what was probably their first film for most of them, or at least one of their first movies. And like I said, 8 out of 10, good movie. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I definitely enjoyed it for that first time I did see it. And I think a lot of people are probably going to feel the same way. So 8 out of 10, see it if you can, but at the same time, I wouldn't rush out to own this one either.